it was another entertaining instalment of the Ginetta Junior Championship that saw Chase Fernandez lead every lap from pole position and claim the victory. But don't be fooled into thinking that it was an uneventful race. It was a relatively uneventful race for Chase, in fairness. He led them cleanly through Redgate Corner, had a bit of early pressure, but after a couple of laps started to assert his dominance. It was the usual midfield action, further emphasised by the fact there were a few quick drivers who had lap times disallowed in qualifying, trying to make their way through the order. That was the scariest moment of the race for Chase Fernandez, a bit of contact with Joslyn. Henry tried that outside line through Coppice Corner, and this perhaps will be one of the talking points post-race. There was a bit of a touch between the two of them. They leant on each other, and Joslyn ended up in the gravel trap. He did, though, recover to finish second. There's the answer as to what happened to Holly Miles. She did not get there by herself. There was contact with another car coming off the chicane, whilst Saeter made an ambitious move up the inside of Charlie Hart into the old hairpin. Saeter looked like the man on the move mid-race, but Charlie eventually got back past him up at Coppice Corner, and in doing so opened the door for Joslyn to make a really well-read overtake, a well-anticipated move to drag past the pair of them down the next straight. Those two then tried to work together to catch the leader. That wasn't happening, but it did at least mean they were free to settle the fight for second place between themselves in the closing stages. But it was a first victory of the season in the end for Chase Fernandez, who's fast becoming a bit of a Donington Park specialist. His second consecutive win on the Grand Prix circuit to fire himself properly into championship contention. 2 more races still to come this weekend, 2 more opportunities to score some good points, and Chase Fernandez looking to try and further close in on the front runners in the championship.
I didn't really want to attack him too much because I knew we had two R racing teammates right behind me what would be ready to pounce if the battle got a bit heated. But my intention was obviously just to have a go the last 2 laps, but remain in the podium places, and that's what I did. So again, a good haul of points and solid race.
Some good moves though. You were able to get past Joslyn a few times, but you just weren't able just to hold on.
No, I mean, I think it was a bit of a scrappy race for a few laps, and then just a lot of switching of position, people getting pushed wide and stuff, just sliding through. But yeah, I'm happy with the race. So
you posted the fastest lap as well during the race, so obviously you've got to be pleased with that as well, and shows us pace in the car.
Yeah, I mean, I felt very happy with the pace. No problem with the pace. So yeah, the car felt good. Happy with it.
Change of conditions tomorrow, possibly. What are you feeling about that?
You never know with the UK. It can be any weather. So we'll just adapt to whatever the weather throws at us.
Got put back at the start, but managed to get back to second and get some good points for the championship.
It was backwards and forwards, and Charlie was coming through a few times, but you seem to be able to learn from what he did in previous lap to help you move forward.
Yeah, Charlie's really good at battling. He put some good moves in, but I managed to stay in front and finish with second today. It looks like it might rain, starting off pole though tomorrow, so hopefully we'll be able to just drive off and get an easy win.
I'm absolutely buzzing. What a result. First race with our racing, and we've dominated this weekend so far. Fastest in practice, pole in qualifying, race 1 win. Can't get much better so far, can it?
Still got a weekend to go, so obviously buoyant. You think you can do it again?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Looking like it's going to be a bit wet, so that'll make it a bit trickier, but I'm sure we can pull through, and hopefully we can get another 2 wins and dominate the whole thing.
You had a mega start, and that was obviously where it started from.
Yeah, it was a great launch, and just managed to control the race from there. A bit tricky on the opening lap, but yeah, apart from that, just pulled away and stayed comfortable, stayed calm, and ended up going away with the P1.
A really entertaining second race of the weekend for the Ginetta Junior Championship. Joslyn made a good start from pole position. Charlie Hart pulling up alongside Chase Fernandez for second place and would move into second place in the early stages. That was sadly, though, as good as it would get really for Charlie in that race. Joslyn leading the pack through Redgate Corner, survived a little bit of a scary moment over the curbs and looked set to assert his authority on the race. Max Cuthbert clipped the tyre stack through the chicane. That damaged his car, but he was able to continue in the race. There was then a tangle down at the old hairpin between Felix Livesey and Nicholas Ellis. Livesey ended up getting stuck in the gravel trap at just about the same time as Jack Robinson was off at the chicane. That led to a safety car. On the restart, Henry Joslyn looked as though he was going to pull clear of a battle that was raging behind. There was an early challenge from Chase Fernandez to get the lead. He had to settle in the end for second position. And then as Charlie Hart started doing battle with the other R racing cars, it allowed Fernandez to start chasing after the race leader. Chicane was catching a few drivers out, including Tom Ingram Hill, who had a spin on the exit of the corner, but was able to continue in the race. Chase Fernandez eventually caught Henry Joslyn and made the move for the lead heading into the Melbourne hairpin. This was just before the start of the final lap. For the second time this weekend, there was contact between them, but it looked as though Fernandez had timed it to perfection. That was until Colin Cronin was tapped into a spin and got stuck in the gravel at the chicane. That led to the red flag being thrown before the checkered flag, and with the results going back a lap, it's Henry Joslyn who, for the second time this weekend, inherits the race win.
Yeah, it was really much action. With the safety car in mid-race, I kept in fourth. So, yeah, and in the middle of the race, I got past Hart. So, and I just kept going with the two in front, and we pulled away. So, yeah, really happy about that.
It was a good battle with Charlie in that race?
I would say I overtook him one corner, and then like he dropped a bit back, so he had to worry about the people in the back. So me and the front just pulled away.
The safety car restart obviously benefited you?
Not really, because I got a bit of a slide in the last corner, so I lost a bit to the front, but I feel I kept good after.
It was a great race. I'm really happy with the pace we've shown. Our racing have put together a great car for me to drive, and couldn't be happier this weekend. We've dominated so far on track, so hopefully we can get the P1 in the last race and keep it this time so we can actually get the trophy, and we'll have to see how that one goes.
You've been unlucky this weekend. Obviously you finished P1 in race 1, you finished P1 in race 2, but both times unfortunately you've missed out.
Yeah, we've just been really unlucky so far this weekend, but the pace is definitely there. We know we can do it. We just need to set it in stone and get it properly done.
Yeah, obviously it was wet in that. Didn't do much testing in the wet, but luckily managed to still be fast and come home with the victory today.
That's 2 now. Obviously you inherited the win yesterday, so a good haul of points this weekend.
Yes, I had a bit of a bad first round, but luckily in the last 2 I've managed to get some good points, and now fighting for the win of the championship.
So the third Ginetta Junior race of the weekend here at Donington Park saw Chase Fernandez grab the victory, but it was Henry Joslyn who led in the early stages after a perfect start from pole position. Charlie Hart got away pretty well too from the second row, tried to go around the outside of the R racing car of Marcus Saeter, and somehow ended up losing 2 positions through the middle of the corner as through went Ethan Jeff Hall and Isaac Phelps, knocking the points leader down to 6th. They got cleanly through Redgate, but then down at the bottom of the hill there was drama as James Shotton tried to make a move up the inside of Alfie Davis, only to then get collected from behind by Alfie Saeter. Saeter got into the back of Shotton. All 3 of them ended up off into the gravel trap, and with damage done to their cars, Alfie's, Davis and Slater were able to take no further part in the race. Safety car came out, but it was the restart after that safety car that proved pivotal, with Chase Fernandez nailing it and pulling out into a sizable lead, which he would hold until the flag. Behind them, though, some really good battling going on involving Charlie Hart, who was having a difficult race, but was certainly in the thick of the action. Then we also had Archie Clark out wide onto the grass. Ruben Dan was gaining some places. Harry Moss was in the mix. Positions were changing corner by corner in true Ginetta Junior fashion, but not at the head of the field. Chase Fernandez withstood a late challenge from Henry Joslyn to prevent Henry getting the hat-trick of victories. It was Chase Fernandez, the winner at Donington.
It's been a really fun weekend battling from the back, which hasn't been ideal, to be honest. But I'm excited with how it went, and I'm really happy with the podium from where I was in quali. And then the race was really good, the pace was really good, and then it's been quite a rocky ride since Alton. But I think we found our feet again, and we're going to be up the front all the time now.
You were sort of hounding Henry in that last race, so obviously the pace is in the car.
Yeah, we had good pace at the start of the race, and then we lost a bit at the end, so I wasn't able to challenge him. But I'm confident going into other rounds with the pace, and I know I can always be up the top three.
Moving on to the next round and another challenge.
Yeah, another challenge, a new challenge, and I think it's going to be really good with, what the potential that we have in the car.
Obviously, two wins this weekend have been really good, and still managed second, which is still really good. Just couldn't quite get him at the end. I was catching, but just needed more laps.
In terms of the championship, though, with Charlie obviously finishing a little bit further down the order, that means that potentially you move up?
Yeah, I think now leading the championship obviously is a really good header into, I think, the next round. I'm not sure which track it is, but really happy with this weekend and happy to be leading the championship.
It's been a long time coming this weekend. We've been fastest in everything. We've won everything on track. It's just nice to have the win sealed and we can show everyone that we have actually won this time and we can get it properly done.
You've been dominant all weekend. You've had a great weekend, and obviously that's a real boost for you.
Yeah, what a first weekend with our racing, honestly. The car's been mega this weekend. Can't thank them enough for this result. And yeah, I'm over the moon with that. I'm absolutely buzzing.
It's been a great weekend, though, battling with Henry, so it's been all action.
Yeah, he's drove really good this weekend. He's been really quick. I knew he was catching me in that last sector the whole race, so I knew I had to defend that a bit on the last lap, but yeah, I'm happy to come away with a win in all three on the track, and then finally we've actually got the P1 trophy this time.
Moving on, another round to come, so hopefully the same again?
Yeah, definitely we'll go for the same again, all three wins.